Hello and welcome to the Scrapbook Pals YouTube channel. My name is Terry and today I am sharing this card that I created using some products from Spellbinders. So let's get started. Okay, so here's a close-up look at the two die sets that I'll be using today. This one here, it's called Candy Stripes, and this one here is called Floral Stag, and I love these two paired together. So I went ahead and die cut all the pieces off screen on white cardstock, and to add color onto the die cuts, I am going in with some Copic markers. All of the colors that I use with my Copic markers, I listed it down below. So if you're interested or if you can't see the cap number on the screen, you can go ahead and reference it down below. So of course I started off with a lighter shade first and I colored that all over my image. I like going in with the lighter shade first to wet my paper, then going in with the darker shades to create shadows and going in with a mid-tone to blend everything together. I go back and forth between the lighter shade and the mid-tone just to create a nice even blend. And I went ahead and did that with all of the die cut pieces. So here are the colors that I use for this card. I use E13, E33, E35, E53, E37, E59, Y26, YR24, R89, R29, G14, G16, and W6. If you don't have Copic markers, you can also ink blend on the die cuts, or you can die cut that out of color cardstock, which I think comes out very beautiful as well. So here's all of the pieces that I have that's colored in, and I'm going to go ahead and use liquid adhesive and adhere all of the pieces together. I did went ahead and cut and colored multiple of the leaves here because I do plan on creating a wreath. What's really cute about this die cut is that it cuts out the little fur on the die cut pieces. So I like going in with my honeybee stamp die release tool and I poked out all of the fur just to create a little more dimension. Now going in with all of the color leaves, I'm going in with liquid adhesive and I'm creating a wreath. So just going in with the end of the leaf, I am layering that together to form it into a circular shape. And it's pretty easy because the leaf itself is a curve. So you're just pretty much following the curve of the leaf. So I went ahead and adhered about 10 of the leaves together. Okay, so let's talk about the background. I'm going in with the second die. This one is called the Candy Stripes die. And I went ahead and ran it through my die cutting machine out of white cardstock. And the great thing about this die is that you could die cut it out of the same cardstock or a different cardstock if you like, but I went ahead and did it out of white. And you just rotate it around and it creates a totally different pattern. I really like the idea that you can use this die in multiple ways, so you're getting a lot of usage out of one die. So here you can see I went ahead and ran that through my die cutting twice, and I just rotated the paper around and it creates a very nice pattern. Okay, so I wanted to create a little more interest onto my background scene, so I'm going in with a few shades from the Distress Oxide line. So I'm going in with the colors Fire Brick, Crackling Campfire, and Walnut Stain, and I'm just blending that all over a white piece of cardstock with my blending brush. Just like Copic coloring, I like going in with the lighter shade first, then blending that on a few areas of the white cardstock, then going in with the second darkest shade, and lastly going in with the darkest shade. And the darkest shade here is I'm going in with a brown color. So the walnut stain is going to add a lot of interest onto the card panel, as well as creating a lot of drama to the edges of the card panel. So while I have the walnut stain out, I decided to go ahead and ink blend the die cut that we colored in earlier. I just wanted to create a little more dimension onto the colors. So I'm going in with walnut stain for the brown, as well as pine needle for the green. Okay, so now it's time to adhere everything together. So I know that this is a pretty delicate die and I like using my liquid adhesive for this. So I'm just squeezing little dots throughout the die cut and I'm adhering it on top of our ink blended panel. So for the first layer, I did flip it around and I adhered it on one side. And then going in with my second die cut, I will flip it to the other side and adhere that on top of the first one, making sure that it creates a nice pattern. Okay, so now for the sentiment, I am going in with this cute little set from Lawn Fawn. This one is called Simply Fall Sentiments, and I'm going in with the So Grateful For You stamp. I will be stamping this down with an ink from VersaFine Clear, and I'm stamping this down using a stamping platform. I did have to stamp it down twice just to make sure that I got a clear impression. So I went ahead and trimmed that down off screen. Now I wanted to create a frame around my card panel. So I'm using a rectangle frame die. This one is from My Favorite Things. And I went ahead and ran that through my die cutting machine out of white cardstock. So now going in, I am going to layer the two together. So here I'm just trying to figure out where I want the sentiment to be. And once I decided on a placement, I went in with liquid adhesive and adhered that onto the card panel. And since the strip wasn't cut out exactly to fit onto my card panel, I just went in with some scissors and snipped off the sides. Now going in with the frame, I use liquid adhesive again and adhere that on top of the card panel. So I'm pretty much almost finished with the card. I just have to adhere all of the elements onto the card panel. So using liquid adhesive, I went ahead and applied that onto the wreath and added that onto the card panel. Now going in with the stag, I decided to place him on the center of the wreath. So I added him down using liquid adhesive and I went in with some florals from the die set and placed that on the card as well. And of course, I like to add a lot of details with a white gel pen. So I went ahead and did that throughout the card panel. And now to finish off the card, I adhered it to a side folding card base. And that pretty much completes the card. I hope you guys found this tutorial helpful and please don't forget to thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. And if you haven't done so yet, we would love it if you came on over to our Instagram account as well. Okay, until next time, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.